Welcome back to Midwest Street Cats. Midwest Street Cars. That's a cat. Juno the cat. And you may have noticed that we've taken a little bit of a break from releasing content here, but trust me, it's for the better. Sometimes you got to slow down to go fast. And I know that I've said that a lot over the years, but this time it's true. Oh, she's gone. Fastest cat in the world. Pew. All right, so they don't make a gasket that fits this cylinder head on this Cadillac race car with this 23-degree motor, so you have to make do with what you got. This is a Felpro 1267 gasket, I think, or 1263, and it's extremely small compared to the port. You glue the gasket to the head, and then take an X-Acto knife and tirelessly work all the way around the ports until they're right. Now, the right way to do this would be with a cutting machine or a stamping machine, but I don't have either of those, and I do have an X-Acto knife. I don't know, I kind of like the before better. Okay, here's a little pro trick that I use on just about everything. When installing an intake manifold, so that you can move it around, and in case you have to pull it back off or do anything with it, it doesn't stick and tear up the gaskets, I use anti-seize. I glue the gasket to the head, and then I use anti-seize on the other side. I don't use gaskets on the ends, I use silicone. You got to be really careful to get between the cylinder head and the block. Oh, I got you. Cake maker here. That was Big Chef. Big Chef was out here doing pastries with silicone. Hey, you got some on the headers too. Good. Hey, at least he's consistent. What do you think about those fingerless gloves, huh? Oh wait, yep, they're fingerless. I tricked you. I put on rubber gloves underneath them so you wouldn't make fun of me. Nothing says I mean business like fingerless gloves. These are 2 1/4 to 2 3/8 stepped headers. Yeah, for a small block. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And time for the $60 flex plate. Nothing like a $20,000 engine and a $60 flex plate. I did put a little bit of orange Loctite on those flex plate bolts before I ran them in with the impact. And torquing them down, I think you're supposed to go in 3 stages. I probably went in 1.5 or 2. As you can see there, I did it really fast. And now I'm torquing the harmonic balancer bolt and moving on to the crank trigger and the front drive accessories on the front of the motor plate. This is final assembly, so even though it looks super power block Saturday, Sunday morning hot rod TV type because everything goes together nice and smooth, trust me, it took a few hours to find all the correct fasteners and make sure that they were trimmed and cut and they had the right amount of shank or right amount of threads, and yeah, it's not always easy. That is a Star vacuum pump, and from what I've been told, is one of the better choices for a nitrous engine. This engine just happened to come with it, so I've ran the Moroso 4-vane before, and it did great, but I'm really anxious to try this Star. If you don't know, now you know. The way to check tension on a belt, especially a belt like that, is to twist it. You should be able to twist it 90 degrees both ways, and then give it a couple extra squeezes just for good measure. Motorboat the belt there, yeah. Now the distributor's going on the front. Much different than Jackie's motor, but still basically the same thing. Just runs off of a belt instead of a timing gear. And now we got rid of the Power Glide. We've borrowed a 3-speed with a old blue Neil Chance converter. We think that the 3-speed will run better. I've always thought that, but I just now was able to talk her into it. Since it's my motor, she has to listen to me on some of this stuff. Super secret ratios, by the way. This is me drilling holes in the floor for the water lines. There was no real good way to route the water lines totally under the car, so I had to bring them in through the cabin and then drop them into a chase in the floor and then run them up to the front of the motor. A lot of this stuff is stuff that was already done or even stuff that you've already seen, but because her motor is still at the machine shop, we're putting my motor in the car. They are a little different, and the combinations are just a hair different, and so some of the things had to be changed. And that's what you're seeing now. And that's why we've taken a bit of a break. Some of the things had to be rewired and replumbed. Wiring and plumbing isn't the most fun thing to watch. And if you think it's not fun to watch, it's just as not fun to do it. Juno is also trying her hand at plumbing the golf cart. She has one piece that hasn't gone on it yet. Oh, she's done. See, that's how long it takes to be done with plumbing and wiring. And if you haven't seen that before, that machine's going to go up and down about 500 more times before I'm through. But damn, there you go. If we could talk Jackie into some carpet in this car, it'd look pretty good.
No.
Or paint.
No.
As you can see, it turned out pretty good. I'm still working on it like every shot you see, I'm still working on it. So more things are going to change and things are going to get added to it. I did finally get a throttle linkage on here. So the Ruga pedal works, as you can see. We had to build an adjustable stop on the floor to make sure that Jackie's big old Ruga foot didn't go through the Ruga pedal and break the Ruga cable. Everything seems to be in working order. We're really close, as you can tell. I finished the EGTs, routed them all out, and even put a low car show transmission dipstick. For when Jackie's sitting there at the car show in her lawn chair, everyone can see she has a low car dipstick. Moroso Ultra 40 wires, the only wire for me. Not because they sponsor me, just because I like them. Another thing I decided to do on this one is basically, instead of putting the sensors on the engine, I decided that this is going to be kind of chaotic under the hood of this car because it is a wild nitrous car with a wild, crazy driver. So I decided to put a sensor manifold on the front frame rail and plumbed all the sensors from the engine to that manifold. So you got your pan back, oil pressure, fuel pressure, the whole deal. All the pressure transducers are right there in front. So if there's any issue, super easy to diagnose, super easy to fix. High quality sensors from Low Dollar Motorsports, Brandon Dollar. If you guys haven't heard of them, check them out. Crank trigger with a Hall effect sensor now installed. This is the Low Dollar EGT kit, and man, I've used a lot of EGTs and they are nice. So it's kind of cool, the transformation that the car is making or has made, because it's been a while and then we see it every day. When you go back and you look at old pictures or videos of the car, it's a big change. This is a totally different car.
What does that say?
156.
156. Fuck yeah. Oh, 887, 152, baby.
As you can see, it's made quite the journey from the stock CTSV when Jackie bought it to what it is now. Over the years, we slowly progressed the stock platform, and she was hell-bent on running 8s in a stock CTSV, and we did that. It sounded killer, it ran killer, it looked killer. There was one thing it didn't do good, and that was street race. It's been totally transformed to a purpose-built street race weapon, and we hope that that's what it's going to be good at. So that was an 887, but the car has actually been, after that pass at another event during the daytime in the heat, the car actually went 882 at 157.5, which is incredible for that platform at 4,200 pounds. Yeah, I'm curious to see what it'll do under 3,000 pounds. This car should be running very soon, and time to go racing. Hopefully you'll join us. Well, bye.